This is Night Runners, and it's the newest indie racing game, and there is only one word to describe it, and that is absolutely beautiful. And in today's video, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about it, because the other day, I got to speak to Jem, who is the person who's been making this game for the past couple of years. Yes, everything that you see is made by one person, which is just mind-blowing in itself. But anyways, I got to ask Jem a whole bunch of really cool questions about the cars, the customization, career mode, release date, and so on. And that is what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, Jem is actually super cool and actually said that we can do another interview in the future, but asking your questions. So if you have any questions about Night Runner or how Jem made the game or anything like that, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to thumb up other people's comments as well, so I kind of know what you guys want to see the most. I would also recommend watching to the end of this video because I got to ask a bunch of questions and we don't want to ask the same question multiple times. Long story short though, leave your questions in the comments down below and I'll make another video like this in the future, so make sure you subscribe and be on the lookout for more Night Runners gameplay. So without further ado, let's jump into Night Runners gameplay. And right out of the gate, how good does this game look? I think you can see why it's the racing game that I'm most excited for releasing in 2023. It's a PC open world racing game that's inspired by the racing games from the 1990s and the early 2000s with a bit of PlayStation 2 vibes sprinkled in. Now, at the time of recording this video, it's just Jem working on everything behind the scenes right now, from the cars to all of the customization and the assets in the open world and all of that. Everything is just Jem. But Jem actually said when the demo launches soon, they're actually going to be launching a Kickstarter alongside it where you can pre-order the game and get special perks and stuff like that. And then Jem is actually planning on using that money to hire on additional developers to help them get the game to the finish line and get it released in full, and then actually go a step further and provide future updates after the game actually comes out, which sounds just super cool. Now, Jem actually said, although they don't have a public release date just yet, there is a private one, and a demo will actually be releasing soon on Steam. It'll be totally free for everybody to play and try and provide feedback on, which sounds really awesome. I personally cannot wait for it. As you could probably tell though, watching this video, Jem is like us. You and me, massive car fans, huge fans of racing video games, and when a developer like Jem gets their hands on an indie game like this, the results are just incredible. The insane attention to detail in this game just produces beautiful results. I love some of the 90s vibes. Like, for example, when you're driving in the open world and you crash into one of the walls or like scrape your paint along a wall, the whole screen will go like pixelated and glitchy, and I love those sorts of little details. Not to mention the sense of speed when you're just ripping it down the open road, whether it be past traffic, into tunnels, across these big bridges. The sense of speed also just looks so good. Not to mention the HUD itself, when you're driving around in the open world, also showcases some other really cool things going on behind the scenes, like oil pressure gauges, boost gauges, and even a fuel gauge. And I think you can already see where I'm going. Yes, the fuel gauge actually works, and Jem actually said this on Twitter a little while ago. Yep, the fuel gauge is functioning, and you can run out of fuel if you drive around for a long time. High horsepower cars will consume fuel much quicker than slow cars. It refills automatically before events, and if you're running low, you can refuel from the pause menu for in-game money. Fuel's pretty cheap, but it does add up over time, so if you want to save money, you'll want to avoid the 1,000 horsepower cars. Now, Jem actually did go on to say that this won't kill, like, open world driving in high horsepower cars. You're not going to run out immediately. It still will take a little while, but I love that little detail. Super cool. Now, don't get me wrong, having a fuel gauge and a boost gauge is awesome, but I think what sets Night Runners apart more than that, and even more than, like, the 90s and early 2000s graphics, is straight up how much love and attention has gone into the customization in this game. So right out of the gate, it's got all of the visual customization, the performance customization, the handling customization, and even some other spicy parts that we'll talk about in a second. But yes, you can go in and customize each part of your car individually. So you can mess around with front bumpers, wide body kits, wing mirrors, side skirts, rear wings, rear bumpers, exhaust. Even smaller things like hood pins are swappable and things like that. And then yes, there's even that same level of customization on the interior of your car with interior customization. You can swap out steering wheels, gear shifters, the seats for your car, change out the fuel tank, add a NOS canister in your car, even dangly things in your rear view mirror. You can mess with your car as much as you want. And again, it also doesn't stop there, because you've also got performance and handling customization where you can go in and swap your engines, you can swap your suspension, mess around with your offset and your tires and your wheels, and then you've got all of your additional paint options as well. It will genuinely take you a very long time to build your perfect car in this game. Now, I actually asked Gem what their favorite part of the customization actually is, and this blew my mind. So take a listen. Gem said, "My favorite feature is how it accurately replicates real-life customization. All the engine upgrades are visible, including the engine swaps. Removing interior parts makes your car lighter. Installing an exhaust drastically changes the car's sound. Adding certain performance upgrades changes the interior of the car. For example, adding a NOS bottle inside, or upgrading your fuel will add in a fuel cell into the back of your car. Installing a max level transmission gives your car a dog box gear whine, and so much more." Now, what Gem said next is actually something I haven't seen before. Gem actually said what makes the customization unique is that you walk around your garage taking parts on and off your car, similar to car mechanic simulator games, but more simple and faster. It makes car customization feel fresh and new. It's very satisfying, and that is just so cool. But here's the thing, customization is awesome, but if you don't have anything to customize, then what's really the point? And well, I asked Gem about the cars, and this is what they said, and they came in clutch. Currently aiming for 15 to 20 cars at launch, including trim variants of different chassis. That sounds awesome. And they'll all feature the same level of customization as you've seen, but with varying amount of parts to choose from. Some cars will continue to be added after launch in regular updates. Bro, that is so sick. Now, I would imagine what that actually means is, say, for example, there's a Nissan S15 in the game, but for legal reasons, it's obviously not a Nissan S15. But I would imagine the way it works is, say, for example, you've got a Nissan S15 Spec S and a Nissan S15 Spec R. They're the same car, but different trim levels of them. I would imagine you also might see SR20DE engines and SR20DET engines. It would be really cool to see all of the different trims and stuff like that, but I would imagine that's the sort of thing that Gem's talking about when they say different trim versions of, like, the same car in there. That sounds super cool. Now, to take things even a step further, you can actually buy used cars at the car auction. So you actually go in, you can kind of see the car there, and you get kind of like a spec sheet of what the car is and so on and so forth. And then you can actually bid and buy it, which is actually really cool. I love those sorts of little details. And again, looks awesome. Anyways, and last but not least, I asked Gem a little bit about the career/campaign mode, and even if there was one, because at the time of recording this video, I haven't really heard about one, and this is what Gem said. They said the goal is to win enough races that you get invited to join a crew and then expand/defend your crew's territory whilst also not losing all of your money and going broke. There's no scripted story. The campaign happens around your results, so everyone's experience will be different. So there's a couple of things to break down in there. I would imagine the way it's actually going to work is you're going to be able to pause your game, open up the mini-map, and you'll probably see the map broken up into different quadrants once you reach, or like once you join an actual crew. And sometimes you might be attacking a certain territory where you've got to go in to somebody else's territory and beat them in their races, or sometimes those people are coming to you to try to take you down in your own territory. sounds really, really cool. I must say, one of the things that it at least seems like for right now is although the game seems quite accessible and everyone's going to be able to jump in and play it and enjoy it and that type of stuff, it doesn't do much hand-holding and actually leaves it for you to figure out what works and what doesn't, which is really nice. It's a really nice change from the games we've had recently. There you go, though. That is everything you need to know about Night Runners for right now. Like I said, I'm gonna do another one of these with Gem in the future. So if you have any questions that I haven't answered in today's video, let me know in the comments section down below, and I'd love to talk about them. Thank you so much for watching. That is Night Runners. I'll see you next time with more. See you then. Bye!